Hey there. Today, we're going to talk about something that feels more and more precious these days: our focus. Our attention is kind of the currency of the modern world, and it really feels like everyone and everything is trying to get a piece of it, right? Do you ever have those days where you feel like you're juggling a million tasks, trying so hard to be productive, but when you look up, your to do list hasn't gotten any shorter? If that sounds familiar, I promise you are not alone. It's this feeling of being constantly scattered and just overwhelmed. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a little bit frustrating. What if that thing we're all chasing, efficiency, multitasking, all those productivity hacks, what if that's actually the cause of our scattered minds? It's a bit of a paradox, and it's one that can keep us feeling completely and totally stuck. All right, so let's dive into this really powerful and, yeah, pretty counterintuitive idea. Let's talk about the efficiency trap. We've been told our whole lives that being efficient is the goal. But let's take a look at how it might be, well, training our brains to be distracted. Just think about it for a second. We listen to podcasts while we work out, we answer emails while we're eating lunch. This constant push for efficiency actually teaches our minds to become, for lack of a better word, greedy. It never has to make that tough but really important choice about what to let go of. So instead of prioritizing, it just tries to do it all and leaves us feeling completely frazzled. And this chart illustrates that trade-off perfectly. You see, when we prioritize, we get to pour all of our energy into one thing, and that's where deep focus lives. But when we chase efficiency by multitasking, our attention gets spread so thin across all these different tasks. We end up doing a bunch of things kind of poorly instead of doing one thing really, really well. But here's the thing to remember. This isn't just a battle happening inside our own heads. Our entire world, our whole environment, has been reshaped to keep us in this scattered state. There is, and this isn't an exaggeration, a war being fought for your attention every single day. If you look back in time, the simple act of reading a book actually trained our brains for long-form concentration. It helped create what some people call a typographic mind, a mind that's totally comfortable following one long, complex idea from start to finish. Reading books was basically like a deep workout for our focus muscle. And you can literally see this shift throughout history. Back in the 1850s, audiences could sit through 3-hour political debates. I mean, can you imagine? By the 1960s, a televised debate was down to an hour. And today, our average attention on any single online task is measured in just seconds. The way we get our information really changes the way we think. And it's so important to understand that this didn't just happen by accident. Our digital world has actually been called a hostile design environment. It is intentionally engineered by some of the smartest people on the planet, as Facebook's first president admits right here, to capture and hold on to our attention. And how do they do it? By giving us these constant, tiny little dopamine hits that keep us scrolling and clicking and coming back for more. Okay, but here is the really good news. Our brains are amazing. They're incredibly plastic, which just means they can change and adapt. And thankfully, research is pointing to a surprisingly simple and powerful way we can start to rewire our own focus circuits. And the research is honestly pretty mind-blowing. It suggests it takes just 17 minutes. And get this, it apparently only needs to be done once to create a significant, maybe even a long-lasting improvement in your ability to focus. Now, this isn't some magic trick. It's a very specific, science-backed practice that really shifts how you pay attention. So what this exercise does is it helps us shift how we see the world. A lot of us walk around with this very narrow soda straw vision. We're so focused on one thing that we have these little attentional blinks where we just miss everything else going on around us. The goal is to cultivate a more open, panoramic vision, a state of awareness that can take in more of the world without getting overwhelmed. And the practice itself is wonderfully simple. All you do is find a quiet place to sit with your eyes closed for about 17 minutes. The key here isn't to force your mind to be empty or anything like that. You're just gently paying attention to your internal state, what scientists call interoception. Just noticing your breath, the feeling of the chair you're sitting on, the quiet internal rhythm of your own body. Isn't that amazing? The whole idea is that this one simple act of turning your attention inward, even just once, can fundamentally change how you pay attention to the world outward. It helps train your brain to be more openly aware, it cuts down on those attentional blinks, and it can boost your focus in a really lasting way. Now, that reset is incredibly powerful, but we can also build our focus day by day, just like training any other muscle. And it just requires a little bit of consistent, gentle practice. So, the foundation for everything is our physical health. I mean, it is just impossible to have a focused mind if you have an exhausted, dehydrated, or poorly nourished body. Getting enough sleep, moving your body every day, staying hydrated, and eating well, these are the non-negotiable first steps. Okay, think about this for a second. When you take a break from work, what's the very first thing you do? Most of us, we pull out our phones, right? But that's not really a break. It's just swapping one kind of stimulation for another. A truly restorative break is unstimulating. Go for a walk without any headphones. Just look out a window. Let your brain get a little bit bored. That's how it actually recharges. We can also gently retrain our minds to let go of that greediness we were talking about. And the practice is just as simple as it sounds. Do one thing at a time. When you eat your lunch, just eat your lunch. When you go for a walk, just walk. This isn't about being less productive overall. It's about practicing the art of letting go, which is the real secret to finding that true, deep focus. Okay, so let's pull all of this together into a clear plan you can actually start using today. This isn't about some massive, stressful life overhaul. It's about making small but really powerful shifts. So here it is, your toolkit for reclaiming your focus. First, the reset. Give that 17-minute exercise a try, just once. Second, the practice. Pick one simple activity each day to monotask. And third, protection. Actively schedule one break where you do nothing stimulating. That's it. It's gentle, but it's totally transformative. Because at the end of the day, reclaiming our focus, it's not just about getting more stuff done. It's about having the ability to place our most valuable resource, our attention, on the people and the projects and the moments that truly matter to us. It's about choosing what we give our life to. So the real question is, what will you choose?